Happy January, everybody. My name is Sheila Chitskoff, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Orange Fitness. I'm also a goal coach. And so today, with it being January, I'm really excited to share with you some tips and tricks on how to set SMART goals. We all know once January comes around, everybody is setting New Year's resolutions. Well, with that, I want to challenge you. New Year's resolutions, people don't stick to them. They fall off, and statistically speaking, usually around the 14th of January, you've already lost sight of what those resolutions were. And so I want to give you some tricks on how to set SMART goals, okay? And so with that, most people wake up in the morning and they want to set 1-year goals, maybe 2-year goals. What I want you to do right now, grab a pen, grab a paper, come sit back down. I want you to write out, what does your 10-year vision look like? When you wake up in the morning, 10 years from now, what does that ideal life look like? Okay, so start writing. What does your job look like? What does your family look like? Where are you living? Do you have kids, pets? What does all that look like? And so just start scribbling. There's not a right or wrong to this. This is your ideal life, okay? And so once you go and you're done scribbling everything that you want to be working towards, then we're going to start to talk about what SMART goals are, okay? So SMART goals, it's an acronym, and it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay, so remember that when we're starting to set our goals. And so take a look at that piece of paper that you wrote your 10-year vision on. What I want you to do is pick one point out of there. So maybe it's that I own my own house. Okay, you have a 5-bedroom house on the lake. Great. So now you're going to take that 10-year vision and we're going to put it today. Okay, we're going to start to work right now. Like, what can we do to hit that vision? Okay, so what type of SMART goal can we set right now to meet that 10-year goal or that 10-year vision of buying our house? So let's set a 1-year goal. That makes it timely. Okay, we know the specifics already. We want that 5-bedroom house. The measurement of it was the 5-bedroom house. Is it attainable? Yes, 10 years from now, we can have that 5-bedroom house. Okay, is it realistic? So if you wanted that house on the water, you need to make sure, are you living in an area that you can, there is like bodies of water with homes on it? And is it timely? Okay, and so when we look at that timely, 10 years from now, that's our goal. We have a 5-bedroom property on the water 10 years from now. But now what can you do 1 year from now to get closer to that goal? Okay, and so we really start to trickle back. You could even set a goal 5 years from now. What's a SMART goal that you need to have hit in order to get you closer to your 10-year plan? Okay, so if we trickle back to 5 years, what is something we want to achieve 5 years from now? Maybe, because property on the water can be pretty expensive, maybe you want to have a 2-bedroom condo. And you're going to do some renovations to it. And you're going to sell that condo and flip it, and that's going to get you down payment to buy your property on the water 10 years from now. And so if you're going to set a SMART goal 5 years from now, we want it specific. Okay, well, it's a condo. The measurement, it's a 2-bedroom condo. Is it attainable? Yes. Is that realistic? Yes. Is it timely? Yes. 5 years from now. Okay, and now what can we do 1 year from now to get even closer to that goal? And so if you're a first-time home buyer, maybe what you need to do is go talk to somebody at a bank and find out, can I get approved for that mortgage? Right? And if you can get approved for that mortgage, well, great. If you can't, the mortgage broker or the bank's going to tell you what you're going to need to do to get there. And so maybe a really good 1-year goal from now is specific. You're going to go talk to a bank. The measurement, you're going to find out, can you be pre-approved to buy a house? Is that attainable? Yes. Is it realistic? Yes. And is it timely? You're going to do it by June 2018. Okay, so you really want to set that time on there as well to make sure that you can reach that goal. So that was just one example. What you want to do after you've set that, you go back to your vision paper and you start taking a look. What else do I want to do in my 10-year vision, my ideal life? What can I pull out of there and put down into SMART goals as well? Thank you so much for listening. If you ever have any questions, you're more than welcome to check out our Facebook page. We have lots of information on there with goal setting.
Hi, my name's Drea. I'm a yoga instructor here at Orange Express Castlegar, here to talk to you today about the functionality of a lot of the yoga poses that we perform in the yoga studio. How you can use those in your daily life to keep your practice going on and off the mat. So the importance of these poses are to increase flexibility and mobility of the joints. So we're just going to highlight a few today for you. The first one being a goddess squat. So taking the legs quite far apart, and we want the toes pointed out towards the corners of the room. Bringing the hands to the hips, sit the hips back and down, allow the inner thighs to roll up and open. Now in this position, our hips are nice and low, the inner thighs are rolling up. The functionality of this one, if you can envision yourself perhaps snowboarding or surfing, depending on what activities you are up to outside of the gym. Pressing through the heels to come back up, feet back together. Second one is a power yoga move that we use in some of our power practices, chair pose skiers. So sitting the hips back and down, the weight draws through the heels. The natural curvature of the spine is kept and maintained. So a little natural lumbar curve, sitting the hips as far back and down as they can go, drawing the belly in and up and continuing to lengthen through the torso. You want the shoulders plugged down the back, a natural length through the spine, and a lot of power driving through the heels here. Our skier pose encourages more strength and flexibility and gets the heart rate going a little bit. So as you inhale, lift up, exhale, shoot back. Press through, inhale, exhale. And just continue on doing a few of those motions, reminding yourself that this season is just up ahead. Next pose is Warrior 3. And balancing on one foot, we'll let the standing leg knee bend just slightly to create a little more stability there. And as the back leg floats up, the torso becomes parallel to the floor. The arms can go wherever they need to for the balance, perhaps out in a T or out reaching out in front, but take your mind's eye to the hips. We want to do our best to roll the left hip down, or the outer hip down, pardon, and point the toes towards the floor. Encouraging balance here. Now you're getting ready for a hot date. You gotta put some lotion on your legs. Grab onto the knee, bend down, lotioning up the thigh, and lift back up. Bending, lotioning, trying to get all the way to the ankle, and pressing back up. These single leg motions help to encourage all the stabilizer muscles to fire in order to keep that leg strong and the balance as well. So this same motion in the Warrior 3 mimics a lot of other recreational activities. So any kind of hiking, any stair lifting, also in through the skiing, touring, and skating as well. So anything that you need extensive power in through the thighs. Next activity or pose posture is a standing figure 4. You'll find the balance on one foot and cross the other ankle over top of the thigh. Sitting back and down into your chair, we're opening up through the glute of that leg there. Now let's say you need to tie your shoe. That's exactly where you do it here. So once again, trying to incorporate as much as you can into your daily life makes the gym less a burden and makes your fitness level increase as well. So pressing through, you can find your way up. Last couple here, say you're doing dishes the old-fashioned way, will bring yourself into a tree pose. So the inside of the foot, somewhere on the inside of the leg. You'll also want to be careful not to press it in through the knee joint, as the knee doesn't like that lateral pressure. So if the hip mobility is good enough for you to have the foot up into the inner thigh, do so, or below the knee. Now if you're just starting out or the balance isn't great today, you can come all the way down to the floor and kickstand the toes onto the earth. You want the outer hip to open, lots of length through the spine, shoulders back and down, then go ahead and clean up all those dishes. Or you can be doing this while brushing your teeth, anything that you're sort of standing there for a length of time. Last one is a deep squat. So taking the feet a comfortable distance wider than the hips. Sliding the back down the imaginary wall, you want the hips to sit somewhere in between the heels. Now always take your time to settle into this pose, to let the ligaments move out of the way to create comfort here. And in your deep squat, you can put a little bit of pressure through the inner thighs from the outer elbows, but what we're trying to achieve is a lot of length through the spine and the side body. Now if the hips don't want to dip this low, just go to the place where you feel the resistance. Activate through the outer thighs and open up through that hip place. Eventually you'll be able to sit nice and low. If it also is a little bit too much, you can encourage the floor to come a little bit closer to you, adding a block or a prop or a pillow or something underneath that can do that for you. So in this deep squat position, washing the floors, doing laundry, pulling things out of the laundry hamper or the dryer into the washer, try to encourage yourself to find this anatomical position in order to increase hip mobility. So I hope that these poses and postures give you a sense of functionality for your fitness and your yoga routine. And all the best, happiness, health, and wealth.
Welcome everyone, my name is Dr. Diana Draper and I am a naturopathic physician in Castlegar, BC. Today I want to talk to you about sleep because sleep is exceptionally important for our health and it's also something that most people find very difficult, especially as we get older. So I wanted to give you some nice tips that you can do at home to try and help increase your sleep if you're having sleep problems. So why is sleep so important in the first place? Well, it's really important for the growth and rejuvenation of our immune system, our muscular system, our skeletal system, and our nervous system. So while we're sleeping, all of these things are going on in our body to help keep us healthy and growing. It's also thought that sleep is an important part of our memory processing time. So if you're not sleeping, you may have more difficulty remembering and creating memories and retaining them. We have 4 stages of sleep. Each stage usually cycles through, well, each cycle usually lasts about 90 minutes. So that's what you're looking at throughout the night. Each stage brings us deeper into our sleep cycle, and then we have an REM stage, which is usually the lightest time of when we sleep. It's usually when most people wake up. Each stage serves a purpose in rejuvenating and increasing our body systems, just like what I just talked about. Signs of poor sleep can be vast. A few of the big keynotes would be difficulty falling asleep or waking up frequently in the middle of the night, feeling tired when you wake up in the morning, or starting to nod off when you're trying to be in concentrated environments like in a classroom or in a boardroom meeting, and then also being dependent upon sleeping pills. Sleeping pills, the way that they work is they really slow down or inhibit your central nervous system. So though your body is going to sleep, it's not necessarily doing all those processes that it would if you're sleeping naturally. So it's important for us to sleep, but if we can increase and improve our sleep naturally, that's the best approach for us to try and or work towards. Some key things that you can do to help you sleep every night is routine, routine, routine. So do the same thing every night. That's actually sending a message to your nervous system that says, okay, it's bedtime, it's time to start slowing down. It sends a message to your cortisol levels to start to calm down, so getting out of that fight or flight mode. And when it gets dark out, our melatonin levels increase, which is the hormone that's released from our central nervous system to tell our body it's time for rest. So a few things you can do to create your routine. Number 1, get off the electronics within 30 minutes of going to bed. That is fundamental. We are in an age where we're on our computers, the TV, our phones. We sleep with our phones beside our bed. So if you have trouble sleeping, number 1, get away from those electronics at least 30 minutes before bed. Number 2, sleep in a room that is dark. So when it's dark, our brain creates melatonin. Melatonin helps our body rest. The darker it is, the more melatonin is produced, the more rest you're going to have. Number 3, if you find you're waking up frequently in the middle of the night, have a bit of protein before bed. So when we wake up in the middle of the night, it's usually because our cortisol is spiking. One of the things that can be causing that is if your blood sugar is dropping in the middle of the night. So if you have a bit of protein before bed, that's gonna help your blood sugar stay regular throughout the night. So if you're looking for good protein ideas, you can think of things like avocados, handful of nuts, hummus, cheese and crackers if that sits well with your body. Anything that breaks down slower, and you can actually choose animal protein as well if you're not a vegetarian. Also important for helping us sleep would be trying to avoid exercise at least 4 hours before you're going to bed. Exercise increases our cortisol levels. If you're someone who lives with high cortisol all the time, exercise might actually help you go to sleep, so I would avoid that advice if you're someone who's really high and amped all the time. However, if you're someone who's generally relaxed, you want to avoid exercise at least 4 hours before sleep because it does increase your cortisol levels, which will decrease your melatonin production. And finally, go to bed when you're sleepy. Most of us hit a certain time at night, and because it's not the appropriate bedtime, like 9 or 10 or 11 p.m., we fight through our fatigue and then you get a second wind. So best advice is when you're sleepy, go to bed. Don't fall asleep on the couch. Go to where you're meant to be sleeping and go to bed. The biggest thing is the more consistent you are with your bedtime routine, the more your body is going to catch on to, oh, it's time to slow down, and the easier it's going to be for you to find sleep. So I am wishing you a happy and healthy 2018 full of rest, joy, and rejuvenation.
Hi, so I am back. We just finished chatting about goal setting and how important it is to set SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And now I want to talk to you about what type of businesses we're going to be supporting and what type of contribution we can make to our community and everyone around us by making smart choices with who we want to support, what type of companies we want to work for. And if you're an entrepreneur watching this, what type of business are you putting out into the world right now? And so with that, I'm the owner of Orange Fitness. I, before that, used to be the regional marketing manager for Lululemon, and I'm also a co-owner of Shine Kids Fitness, which is a children's fitness company. And so you can see I'm involved in a few different aspects when it comes to business. And the principle that I'm going to share with you right now falls into so many different avenues of business. It doesn't have to just be what I'm involved in. And so whenever I look at a company that I am supporting, I'm partnering with, or I'm just purchasing a product from, I like to think about the 3 Ps. So people, planet, and profits. A lot of companies just look at profits. They just look at the bottom line, and they're only concerned about what they're making at the end of the day. And to me, I think, yes, that's very important. To run a viable business, you need to be profitable. But to me, it is just as equally important to support your planet and make sure that whatever environmental footprint you're putting on this planet is in a positive way. And also to make sure that you're supporting your people. At the end of the day, I don't want to be running a business or be part of a business that is taking our people or our planet for granted. And so when you look at that, for you as a business, what are some things that you can do to support your people? Benefits programs are amazing. Goal setting is amazing. When was the last time you as an owner sat down and asked your staff, what are you working on today? Like, what are your goals in life? Where are you going? And being that coming from a genuine place of care and seeing if you can be that boss to help them succeed. Okay, also supporting your people. What type of cleaning products do you have around your establishment? Are they getting fair breaks? Do you reward them in the moment when they're doing well? What about the environment that they're all working in? Is it positive? Are you, as a leader, leading by example and being inspiring for your staff? Those are all just little things that you can look at to really make sure you are taking care of your people. What about when someone calls in sick? Are you instantly annoyed that you have to cover their shift and work for them? Or are you sending somebody over there with soup and making sure they're okay? Or following up later on in the day, hey, how are you feeling? Like, what can I do for you? It is really important to make sure you're taking care of your people. They're here supporting your business and being a representation of your business. The better you take care of them, the better they're going to take care of your business. And then Secondly, looking at the planet. Where are you buying your products? Are they getting shipped from across the world so that you can sell them? Or is there someone locally that you can support in your community where it's less of an environmental footprint and you're also supporting other businesses that are here? Okay. What about if you do sell clothing or you sell parts or any like gifts of any sort? Are there animal products with it? The number one contributing factor to global warming is animal agriculture. So you want to make sure that if you don't want to have such an environmental footprint on the planet, and if you want to make sure that you are not contributing to the harm of innocent animals, then take a look at the products that you're selling. Okay? If you are selling shirts, do you have to sell wool? Do there have to be feathers with it? Okay? Those are just some little points that we can look at with making sure that we are supporting our planet. Obviously, always supporting your local neighbors. They're here for you, you're here for them. The stronger relationships you can make in the community, the better your business is going to succeed, but also the better your community is going to thrive.